Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV's Primetime News. My name is Iribami Salako. We begin with headlines. President Tinubu calls for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza on Monday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Plus on the news, vandals again attacked the 330 kilovolt Lokoja Gwagwalada transmission line 1. From the international scene, Saudi Arabia's crown prince demands Israel immediately stop its military aggression in Gaza and Lebanon at the opening of a summit of Arab and Muslim leaders in Riyadh. Details of these are coming your way soon. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. President Bola Tinubu on Monday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, called for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza, warning that the conflict in Palestine has persisted for far too long, inflicting immeasurable suffering. Addressing the extraordinary Arab-Islamic Summit convened to address the current situation in the Middle East, President Tinubu expressed deep concern on the humanitarian conditions in Gaza. The one-day summit was a follow-up to the Riyadh summit last year and was attended by heads of state and government of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) and League of Arab States. Reiterating Nigeria's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, President Tinubu affirmed the country's support for a two-state solution where both Israeli and Palestinians can coexist in security and dignity. He noted that this solution remains a viable part of lasting peace in the region. Explaining Nigeria's principled and consistent stance on the two-state solution, President Tinubu noted that it stands as a beacon of hope, representing the rights of both Israelis and Palestinians to self-determination and peace. He assured that Nigeria, given its own experiences, would continue to support international efforts that advance peace and stability in the Middle East. President Tinubu called for the establishment of a secretariat to implement the resolutions of the summit. In his opening remarks, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman condemned the Israeli actions in Gaza and Lebanon, including the targeting of civilians and the continued violation of Al-Aqsa Mosque. He also condemned Israeli ban on the United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestine refugees from delivering relief aid to Palestinians and the displacement of Lebanese people. He urged more states to join the global coalition. The National Assembly Joint Committee on Works, in collaboration with development partners, government agencies and financial institutions, have launched an initiative aimed at supporting local contractors in Nigeria. The partnership seeks to enhance the capacity and competitiveness of local contractors, enabling them to better compete for infrastructure projects awarded by various levels of government. In their opening remarks, the joint chairmen from both chambers highlighted the challenges that local contractors face when bidding for government contracts. They assured attendees that this collaboration effort will focus on identifying and addressing specific obstacles, ultimately providing local contractors with increased access to government projects.
Nigeria's infrastructure landscape is vast and diverse, presenting numerous opportunities for growth, development, and transformation within the renewed hope agenda of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, our local contractors face significant challenges that hinder their potential to contribute to national goals. Challenges such as limited access to long-term financing, inadequate equipment, lack of insurance facilities, and issues of insecurity.
Nigeria has a vast and diverse landscape, one that holds immense potential for growth and development. However, to truly unlock this potential, we need an approach that maximizes local resources, skills, and talent. It's time to embrace our local contractors, not only as stakeholders, but as partners in our journey towards national development. We need a construction industry that is driven by local content, benefiting our people and fortifying our economy.
Industry leaders such as engineer Kamsalim Bukhar, president of the Association of Consulting Engineering in Nigeria, praised the initiative, emphasizing that it would not only benefit local contractors but also contribute to national growth and infrastructure development. Additional support came from engineer Joshua Igbuba, Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who represented Nigerian Society of Engineers. President Margaret Okuntola reiterated the importance of this partnership.
The government can introduce incentives for MDS that successfully implement local content requirements, encourage both engineers and contractors to prioritize Nigerian resources and expertise. 6. Strengthen regulatory oversight. Engineering regulatory bodies like CORE and ACON can enhance their engagement with consulting engineering and local contractors to ensure compliance with established standards, thereby supporting the effective implementation of the executive order.
This platform, I believe, which we are working on today and which we are told we hope to continue to make it an annual event, is going to be very beneficial to us as a nation. We have some phrases which we say all the time in Nigerian Society of Engineers, and one of that is this: without engineering, we are going nowhere. And we also say, without Nigerian engineers, in the scheme of things, we are going nowhere. So we represent a brand, and it's a good brand. And today we are talking about Local Contractors Summit. I want to see how we can empower and build the capacity of local engineers.
In spite of efforts of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to provide stable electricity to Nigerians, vandals have again attacked the 330 kV Lokoja-Gwagwalada Transmission Line 1. The General Manager, Public Affairs Division of TCN, Ndidimba, in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja, said earlier on Saturday, TCN engineers attempted to re-energize the 330 kV Lokoja-Gwagwalada Transmission Line 1, but the line tripped. The statement said after efforts to reclose the line failed, a patrol team of TCN linesmen were dispatched to physically trace the line for faults, and upon inspection, they discovered that transmission towers T306, T309 and T308 along Line 1 had been vandalized, disrupting bulk power transmission along the route. It revealed that further examination revealed that the vandals had stolen 2 spans of aluminium conductor from Line 1. The Lokoja-Gwagwalada line is a double-cycle transmission line, and while TCN is still supplying bulk power through Line 2, efforts are underway to source replacement aluminium conductors for the 2 spans stolen from Line 1. TCN says the rising trend of vandalism targeting transmission lines and towers has become a significant challenge, severely impacting the country's power infrastructure and hindering the expansion and stability of the national grid. It appealed to members of the public, especially residents of communities hosting transmission line and towers, to collaborate with TCN and security operatives in combating the menace, saying vandalism of power installations is a disservice to all and undermines efforts to strengthen the nation's transmission system. The Supreme Court on Monday held a valedictory court session in honor of the former Justice of Supreme Court of Nigeria, Justice Emmanuel Olayinka Ayola. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, and other speakers at the session described death as a mandatory call of nature that will be answered by all mortals at the appointed time. Correspondent Kaleuju completes the story.
The special court sitting was held in honor of the late Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Emmanuel Olayinka Ayola, who died in his sleep on 28th of August 2024 at the age of 90 years. The sitting was attended by notable Nigerians, including the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, the Body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria, the Nigerian Bar Association, as well as family members of the Ayolas. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, described death as a mandatory call of nature that will be answered by all mortals at the appropriate time. He therefore called on all Nigerians to play their respective roles with the fear of God and be prepared to give accounts of their deeds in the end.
It is a general belief that anyone who excels in the practice of his profession is not necessarily as a result of age or greater perseverance on the job, but the effective application of the talent and power of him by Almighty God. As it is today, we behold His Lordship, Honorable Justice Emmanuel Ayola, as a jewel of inestimable value and the epitome of judicial excellence, whose voice will keep resonating in our courtrooms. It was that pillar we could lean on without looking at its foundation.
We have continued to play a critical role in enthroning democratic culture in our country and upholding constitutional principles, ensuring government accountability and maintaining societal equilibrium. They have continued to uphold the rule of law, which in every community represents the critical foundation that would enable all who live and work in it to do so with dignity and to do so acknowledging the interests of others.
Other speakers in their respective contributions enjoined judicial officers in the country to continue to live above board and place service to humanity above personal interests at all times.
Just Olayinka Ayola, like all those who had gone before him, have laid foundation for judiciary, and they will remember for their roles and time. This solemn occasion, my lords, bring me to my mind the Christian hymn that I sang for many years. It has this to say: fading away like the stars of the morning, losing their light in the glorious sun. Thus will we pass from earth and its toiling.
As Assistant General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, his role was pivotal in shaping the direction of our association during those formative years. He was not only a national treasure, but a beloved member of the Nigerian Bar Association, embodying the ideals we hold most dear: integrity, justice, and service.
Contributed strongly to consolidating the rule of law and the respect for human rights in those days when the Gambia's record in the field of good governance was widely acclaimed. He was a bright star in the chain of jurists who contributed to and enhanced the long tradition of the excellent judicial cooperation between the Gambia and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Justice Ayola was elevated to the bench of the Court of Appeal on the 8th of July 1992. Within a period of 6 years, he had another well-deserved elevation to the Supreme Court. Precisely on the 25th November 1998, the late justice was appointed as chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission in September 2005. From the Supreme Court in Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has called on the judiciary to exercise caution in issuing rulings that could increase the hardship in the country. The NLC president made the disclosure when he unveiled 10 new CNG-powered buses at the NLC Secretariat in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Our correspondent, Dele Fason, has more in this report.
Displaying the CNG buses, which will serve as mass transit for civil servants and the people of Rivers State at the NLC Secretariat in Port Harcourt, before addressing labor leaders and government officials on the issue of allocation, the NLC president advised the judiciary to tread the path of peace for the betterment of the state.
NLC cannot sit and watch workers of Rivers State suffer. Why we are not going to go into jurisprudence or the position of the judiciary, the NLC is also advising the judiciary not to go into a journey of self-destruct. Everybody seems to be saying that judiciary is the last hope of the common man. We want to plead with the NBA and others to look into what is happening. And the Judicial Council.
On the CNG buses, the Labour leader calls for regulated prices to avoid cases of petrol price inflation. Responding, the secretary to the Rivers State government, Dr. Tammy Dunagogo, commended the NLC president for standing by Nigerians.
If you provide CNG and it is as expensive as PMS, it is useless. I think it's very, very important. We discuss here that while we are discussing the issue of provision of CNG buses, we have to take into cognizance that there must be infrastructure where we can refuel the vehicles. And the CNG must be cheap, because it's not by tomorrow the price of CNG will still jump like the price of PMS. Then all this struggle would have been in vain. We have gas deposits in Nigeria that can last for the next 500 years. So I don't see the basis for increasing the prices of CNG.
To thank the NLC, national level, the national president and his ESCO for your support for the Nigerian masses in general. So please be assured that as a people in Rivers State and as a government, we appreciate your efforts and will continue to encourage you to engage all levels of government meaningfully and constructively to ensure that this country will witness a paradigm shift for the good of the people of the country in general.
The commissioning of the CNG buses will no doubt help in reducing transportation costs as a result of the cost-effective nature of the CNG buses. From Rivers State, Daily Fason reporting for Galactic TV News.
Non-implementation of new minimum wage and the refusal of some state governments to come up with a clear term on what is payable in their respective states is an added problem to Nigerian workers who have been overwhelmed by the current hyperinflation. Every affected state should do the needful to avert the December 1st ultimatum issued by the Nigerian Labour Congress. Galaxy News correspondent Levy Joseph has more in this report.
Several months after the signing of the new minimum wage into law, many states are yet to come up with what will be payable to their workers. Many of those that have adopted the new minimum wage also are yet to start the implementation.
That's 70,000 naira, the minimum wage as the Act came up with, and compare it with 2019 when 30,000 naira minimum wage was agreed. You will see clearly that arising from the inflation, the hardship, and of course the situation of the country, you will see clearly that 70,000 naira cannot take any worker home.
It's unfortunate. The Nigerian workers, we are finding ourselves in the middle of a deep sea, where government pretends to care for us, but in all honesty, there is no good plan for the workers. The political class that has been leading Nigeria, their activities are tailored towards the benefit of the political class alone.
Going by the current market index in Nigeria and its accompanying hyperinflation, non-implementation of the new minimum wage is not to the best interest of the Nigerian workers. Though the minimum wage cannot said to be a living wage because of the difference in the prices of commodities in July when it was signed into law and now.
By provisions of government economic policies which center around this is anti-poor, pro-rich economic policies. The payment of implementation of the minimum wage now cannot take anybody to anywhere, as it were, because by the time government and labor agree on 70,000 as minimum wage, the inflation was around 25-26%, but today it's around 34%.
You see, the solution comes with the advent of globalization. Globalization is an socio-economic term where government pushes her responsibilities to the people. For example, in those days, it is government that runs the hospitals, the schools, the universities, maintain the roads, provide security.
From Lagos, this is Lebby Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Nigerian troops launch manuals as Lukawara intensified killings in northern Nigeria. Details of these and more coming your way soon. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page as Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund (TETFund) says it has collected education tax to the tune of a total of 1.5 trillion naira so far in the year 2024. The Executive Secretary of the Fund, Architect Sonny Chono, who made the disclosure at the 2024 TETFund Stakeholders Engagement in Abuja, attributed the feat to the authorization provided by President Bola Tinubu. Correspondent Galeujo completes the story.
Addressing stakeholders in the country's tertiary institutions, including vice chancellors, head of institutions and union, the executive secretary of TETFund, Architect Sonny Echono, said the increase in the last year education tax from 2.5% to 3%, authorized by the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represents a significant stride for TETFund. This change is said culminated with a record-breaking educational tax collection of approximately 1.5 trillion naira, reinforces the government's dedication to strengthen Nigeria's educational framework. On his part, the chairman, Board of Trustees of TETFund, Ahmed Bello Masari, emphasized the need to devise means of funding education in a sustainable way, adding that TETFund currently is the sole financier of education in Nigeria. Masari decried the interplay between politics and education in Nigeria, noting that it has become necessary to move partisan politics out of calendar of education in Nigeria.
Do apologies. And some people outside there see TETFund not only as an intervention agency, but as an agency that will have to shoulder all responsibilities in education, which I believe is not right. Where is the budgeting system?
Other stakeholders in their remarks lauded TETFund intervention in the country's tertiary institutions, noting that this has in no small measure advanced the cost of education in Nigeria.
Cannot be funded without affirmative action. Dedicated funding source that is trusted, transparent, through the judicious application of the fund collected.
The case has already been made that the challenges facing education are numerous, endless, and complex. However, I believe that with the collective wisdom and the strategic insights to be harnessed from this strategic workshop and the caliber of tertiary education leaders gathered here today,
as we embark on the 2025 intervention cycle, it is crucial that we work together across all levels of government and within the institutions themselves to ensure that these interventions are effectively utilized and reach the intended outcome.
To appreciate the President, Mr. President, for keeping to the text and tenets of the TED Fund intervention, while also seeking that he ensures that the platform or the structures already established to support the TED Fund interventions be strengthened.
Stakeholders stress the need for sustainable and proactive approach to funding of education in Nigeria. From Abuja, Kunle Ujo, Galaxy TV.
Now to other stories. Sensitive materials for Ondo State governorship election scheduled for Saturday, 16th November 2024 have arrived in Akure, the state capital. The materials were transported by the Nigerian Air Force and have been received by officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria. This was disclosed in a brief message posted on the official X page of the Independent National Electoral Commission on Monday. This marks a significant step towards ensuring a smooth and secure election process in the country. The acting chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, visited the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army in Sokoto on Sunday as part of efforts to combat the new terror group Lukarawa. He ordered the troops to crush the new terror group, which was reportedly inducing youth in the state into its fold. The defense headquarters had last week identified Lukarawa as a new terror group operating in Kebbi and Sokoto states. The director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the terror group is affiliated with jihadi factions in Mali and Niger, raising security concerns in the northwestern region of the country. Speaking with newsmen in the Masalisi community in the Tangaza local government area, Oluyede called on the residents of the community to always give accurate and timely information to the troops to help them in the fight against insecurity. It was learned that the acting chief of Army Staff visited the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Sahad Abubakar, and all the relevant stakeholders in the state, and also held talks with troops of Operation Fazem Yama in order to motivate them. Operatives of the Nigerian Army have dismantled 43 illegal refinery sites while also confiscating over 260,000 litres of stolen products in Akokotoro local government area of Rivers State. The Army, in a statement by the Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah, said 11 vehicles, 21 boats and 11 motorcycles used for stealing crude oil were demobilized. According to the military, stolen crude oil parked in hundreds of sacks in cars and boats were seized from 19 suspected oil thieves who are presently under the custody of 6th Division Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt. Drums used for storage of illegally refined product as well as dugout pits were recovered and discovered in the remote creeks of Akokotoro, where the loading boats were also confiscated. The GOC 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdisalam, while commanding the operatives, warned all thieves to desist from illegal act or face the consequences. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ekbetokun, has insisted that officers of the Nigerian Police Force have not arrested anyone simply for participating in the End Bad Governance protests. Ekbetokun maintained that only those who exploited the protests to damage public infrastructure, disrupt businesses, and commit other harmful acts were apprehended. These individuals, he argued, could not be classified as protesters. Correspondent Kolujo reports that Ekbetokun will make the clarification at a conference with heads of police investigation units in Abuja, mentioned that television footage showed police providing escorts to peaceful protesters, labeling it misleading and to claim that the 76 individuals recently arraigned were simply participants in the protest.
The impression that those minors
were arrested for participating in the End Bad Governance protest. That is a wrong narrative. It is not true. The police did not arrest anybody who participated in the End Bad Governance protest. We arrested criminals who took advantage of the protest to cause destruction to public infrastructure, to destroy private businesses, to commit arson.
Additionally, Egbetuku emphasized that steps are being taken to remove unprofessional officers and strengthen the force investigation and intelligence departments.
Regrettably, apart from human errors which are sometimes not avoidable, it has been observed that some unprofessional officers have compromised the investigation department's integrity. These individuals mishandle cases due to incompetence or consideration for personal gains, tarnishing the force image and eroding public confidence. To address this, we are taking urgent steps to weed out unprofessional officers and strengthen our investigation and intelligence department.
Also speaking, Professor Ayodele Asenoa, a professor of public law at University of Lagos, maintained that it is not entirely accurate to assume minors cannot be brought before the court when they commit offences. She pointed out that while the law intends to establish a distinct child justice system, this is yet to be fully implemented across all jurisdictions, creating significant challenges.
Was clearly a mistake, facilitated by some jurisdictional issues. It would be nice for us to go back, the legislature to go back and look at the laws pertaining to terrorism and look at the exclusive jurisdiction that has been given to the Federal High Court, because the Child Rights Act, which is the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, states very clearly.
The Federal Capital Territory Police Command says it has commenced an investigation into the alleged killing of a man, David Ikechukwu, in Abuja. The spokesperson for the FCT Command, Josephine Ade, in a statement issued in Abuja, said the incident occurred on Saturday. According to Ade, the suspected gunmen were operating from a tricycle while wearing a blue and black uniform. The PPRO noted that an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Ikechukwu's death had begun. She added that David Ikechukwu was reportedly shot by yet-to-be-identified gunmen allegedly operating from a tricycle and wearing blue and black uniforms on November 9, 2024. According to her, the Commissioner of Police for the FCT Command, CP Olatunji Diso, has ordered a comprehensive investigation to apprehend those responsible and to uncover the circumstances surrounding this unfortunate event. The FCT Police Command assured the public that a dedicated team of detectives is actively investigating all aspects of the case. This investigation aims to provide clarity and hold those involved accountable for their actions. 2 people have been reportedly killed in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, by gunmen numbering 3 in the early hour of Monday, while 2 others sustained bullet injuries. The incident has been confirmed by the Public Relations Officer of Ogun State Police Command, Omolola Odutola, in a statement. She explained that the incident occurred at around 12:30 a.m. in the parking lot of Diamond Dumplings GRA, Abeokuta. The police spokesperson hinted that a preliminary investigation had been initiated to examine the factors leading to the 2 deaths and to assess any potential link to court activities. She added that the divisional police officer from Ipara responding to distress calls arrived at the scene and they ensured the area was secured before transporting the victims to the hospital. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Ogun State says it has arrested 3 persons in connection with the seizure of 1.3 tons of cannabis sativa and 25 cartons of 100 milligrams of tramadol in various locations in Ogun State. Speaking to Galaxy TV News at Command Headquarters in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the commander said that the success recorded so far follows the launch of a special operation codenamed Closed Gate. He noted that the drugs were found after thorough search in some private commercial buses who were embarking on interstate trips. The commander stressed that following their arrest, the suspect will be charged to court.
From the east towards the west, and even the cannabis that was arrested yesterday was arrested from Delta State, and they came with what's a truck like this, but it has a partition inside the truck. It was when you open it, you think it's an empty truck actually, but there was a false partition that was made inside. It's when you break into the partition that you will know that something is concealed inside, and 100 bags of 130 kilograms of cannabis each were recovered from inside that partition.
While assuring members of the public of a safer state, the commander said new operations is aimed at securing every entry into the state. He also reiterated the command's commitment towards going tough on drug peddlers.
Sealing all the major entry roads into the state against the influx of hard drugs, such as the one you can see behind me. And this operation started last week, day before yesterday. Yesterday we made a seizure of 1.3 tons of cannabis resulting from this movement. And this morning too, as we're here now, you can see this is part of what we have recovered, intercepted.
Now to other stories, the Oni of Ife, Adeyeye Enitonku Ojaja II, has called on the government at all levels and privileged Nigerians to create a platform for Nigerian youth to showcase their creativity to the world. Obogunwusi made the call while receiving the former head of state, retired General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Bishop Matthew Azan Kuka of Sokoto Diocese when they visited the Ojaja City Park in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Both General Abubakar and Bishop Kuka were at the Ojaja City on the invitation of the monarch to access and dedicate the place. Obogunwusi explained that the mini-city is aimed at empowering Nigerian youth and grow the nation's economy by creating platforms for creative producers to showcase their products and services.
May this place be a place of knowledge, but also knowledge that can help to grow our country and our society. Amen. May this facility be a source of pride for Nigeria. Amen. May it be a source of pride for the people of Africa. Amen. May it do so much for the black race.
Amen. If we believe that Nigeria and Nigerians can do it, then our deficit of housing will continue to reduce gradually. Let us be very proud of our home. This is the only way we can grow the economy. We don't need to leave government to do everything. And this is the reason why I invited the former president to come and bless this place, and also Reverend Matthew Kuka, because they believe in peace and they believe in youth engagement, because for us here it's all about youth engagement. And I believe Nigeria will be a better place. For me, on the throne of my forebears, I just want to see a lot of youth and their lives being turned around. And I'm happy, I'm fulfilled. I have thousands of youths that from nothing, they are something today.
Now, we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the foreign news. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed Salman has demanded that Israel immediately stop its military aggression in Gaza and Lebanon at the opening of a summit of Arab and Muslim leaders in Riyadh. In an address before the Joint Arab League and Organization of Islamic Cooperation Summit on Monday, the Crown Prince, also known as MBS, condemned the massacre committed against Palestinian and Lebanese people. Ahmed Boulghed, Secretary General of the League of Arab States, also joined MBS in condemning Israel's military operation in Gaza and Lebanon, saying that words cannot express the plight to the Palestinian people. The Saudi state-run TV broadcasted footage of Nigerian President Bola Tinubu and Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati landing in Riyadh for the summit on Sunday evening. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif also attended the summit. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said Iran's first Vice President Mohammad Reza Aref will attend the summit. The November 2023 meeting had featured an appearance by Iran's then President Ibrahim Raisi. Dutch police detained dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters in Amsterdam after they defied a demonstration ban put in place in the wake of violence instigated by Israeli football supporters. Earlier in the day, the Amsterdam District Court upheld a decision by the mayor to ban protest 3 days after it was rocked by violence in several areas of the city. But hundreds of protesters gathered in the city's Dam Square, holding up placards that said, "We want our streets back," and chanting, "Free Palestine." Police in riot gear moved in on the protesters in the afternoon, shortly after the court upheld the ban on protest, detaining dozens. Those detained were taken to waiting buses and brought elsewhere in the city before being released, local media outlet report. Police could not say whether any protesters remained in custody. Dutch activist Frank van der Linde applied for an urgent permit to demonstrate on the city's famous Dam Square despite a temporary ban on protest announced by Mayor Femke Halsem on Friday. Van der Linde wanted to protest on the dam against the genocide in Gaza, but also because our right to protest has been taken away, he said. France and the UK will support Ukraine for as long as necessary to thwart Russia's war of aggression, French President Emmanuel Macron and Sir Keir Starmer have said. The Prime Minister marked Armistice Day at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Paris as a guest of Macron on Monday and held a meeting with his French counterpart to talk about Russia's invasion and stopping illegal migration in the Channel. A statement from the Élysée Palace said the two leaders had reaffirmed their commitment to support Ukraine unwaveringly. Their meeting comes as questions are being asked about U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's support for Ukraine after he said he could end the war in one day. Macron personally invited the Prime Minister to mark the 120th anniversary of the Entente Cordiale between France and the UK, which paved the way for greater diplomatic cooperation between the two countries. The statement said the two leaders had reaffirmed their commitment to support Ukraine unwaveringly and for as long as necessary to thwart Russia's war of aggression. A further statement from Downing Street said the pair discussed how to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position going into the winter. There were no details on whether the two leaders will support allowing Ukraine to use long-range Storm Shadow missiles deep into Russian territory. Still on foreign news, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has made two more key appointments ahead of his return to the White House in January. Tom Homan, 62, will serve as Trump's Bodhisattva, having previously served as a returning president acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. New York Congresswoman Elsie Stefanik, 40, has also been made ambassador to the United Nations, according to statements given to the New York Post. Meanwhile, Trump's Republican Party are edging closer to full control of the U.S. Congress. They already have a majority in the Senate and need to win just a handful of seats to take the House of Representatives. A party needs 218 seats to win a House majority. The Republicans have 215 compared to the rival Democrats' 210, according to Newsman. Control of the House gives a party the power to initiate spending legislation and launch impeachment proceedings against officials. The majority in the House, the lower chamber of Congress, alongside the Senate, the upper chamber, would give Trump a greater chance of getting his plans approved than if Democrats controlled one or both. In the meantime, attention has switched to who he appoints to serve in his administration. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump said Homan will be in charge of the nation's borders, including but not limited to the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security. The Prime Minister of Mauritius has accepted that his coalition, Alliance Le Peuple, has suffered a huge defeat following Sunday's parliamentary election. The population has decided to choose another team. Prime Minister Pravind, journalist on Monday. Jugnauth was seeking a second 5-year term, but his main rival, Navin Ramgoolam, leader of the Alliance of Change coalition, looks set to become the next leader of the Indian Ocean archipelago. Mauritius is known as one of Africa's most stable democracies, but this election was tainted by a phone-tapping scandal with leaked recordings of public figures posted online. In response, the government issued a social media ban until after the election, although this led to an outcry and the decision was reversed within 24 hours. Final results are yet to be released, but Ramgoolam's party looks set to win. We must respect this choice, and we wish the country and the population good luck, said Jugnauth. The vote comes after a historic agreement in which the UK gave up sovereignty over the Chagos Island to Mauritius. And finally, on foreign news, Burkina Faso's armed forces say they are investigating a gruesome video that purports to show military volunteers hacking apart a dead body with machetes while gloating to the camera. Work is on the way to verify the video and the people shown in it so that they can be held accountable for their actions if the facts are proven, the General Staff said in a statement. The West African nation is ruled by the military, who seized power almost 3 years ago, promising to end the chronic insecurity that has forced 2 million people from their homes. But efforts to defeat armed groups and Islamist fighters have so far failed, with an estimated 40% of the country under the control. The video in question began circulating at the weekend. It shows a corpse whose head and arms have been severed and the stomach cut open. VDP is short for the Volunteers for the Defense of the Fatherland. Burkina Faso has a tradition of armed community militias for whom the government created an official role in 2020, which has since been expanded under the military government. Some of the men in the video were wearing military fatigues, but otherwise there is no indication of their names nor where or when the incident happened. And that's all we have on the foreign news.
Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News on Galaxy TV. My name is Gratitude Imokwede. Here are the rest of the stories for today.
The much-anticipated X-Buster live-in concert, held on November 9, 2024, was a night to remember as X-Buster delivered an electrifying performance that left fans buzzing with excitement. The event, which took place at Terra Culture Victoria Island, Lagos, attracted a massive turnout, with music lovers and industry insiders gathering to witness the lyrical genius in action. In an exclusive interview with X-Buster before the concert, the artist expressed his excitement and enthusiasm for the night.
First of all, it's going to be better than 1.0 and it's going to be awesome. I'm bringing the fire. You know, the lineup is crazy, it's amazing. The crowd is roaring. It's going to be awesome. I feel like it's my birthday. It's going to be an amazing day today, trust me.
The concert was not short of star power, as a host of top-tier celebrities graced the stage and the audience, adding to the glitz and glamour of the evening.
Are you ready tonight?
Several renowned artists who attended the show also shared their admiration for X-Buster.
X-Buster, keep it going. We love you.
He's been in the industry for a while now, and I'm expecting to see something really different today. He has had shows before. I've not really attended, but tonight I said I'm going to come for X-Buster today.
X-Buster is my friend and my brother. I just want him to keep going, keep doing music, giving them bangers, and the sky is his limit.
Big up X-Buster. X-Buster is a family aside being, a colleague in the industry. X-Buster is family, is a brother. Shout out to X-Buster.
Fans who treated as surprise guest appearances from other industry heavyweights who performed alongside X-Buster, making the night even more special. As the night drew to a close, the applause and cheers were a testament to the event's success.
And that will be all on Entertainment News. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
And that is all we have for you. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Iriba Mr. Lako. Goodbye.